Hello, everyone, and welcome to this round of EdTalks. Today, I'm out of office and I am at Maurya Sheraton ITC. And I have with us here our guest, President of Avila University, Jim Burkee. Hello, Jim.
Thank you, ma'am. Good to be here.
Good to be here, too. And Jim, students ask us a lot of questions. So, may I ask some of them?
Of course, please.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Jim, there are about 5,000 plus educational institutions across the United States of America. And students always have a, you know, concern about what is the right university for them. So how would you present Avila University to a student?
Well, Avila University is one of the fastest growing institutions in the United States among international students, and we believe it happens for a reason. My wife and I are personally invested in international students. She herself was an international student, and so we think it matters to have somebody at the top of the institution who understands the student journey. There's always homesickness. You're away from home for a year. There are a lot of difficulties around that, around things like food and culture, and so we care about that. We like to talk about the 4 C's: cost,
Yes.
curriculum, careers, and culture and caring. We first of all look to price programs in a way that is accessible for more students. A lot of American institutions they want to only charge the top tuition to the richest students, and our mission has always been to make it more affordable and more accessible. And that means tuition prices that are low, room and board costs that are low, but also helping you find ways, if you're a graduate student, particularly to work, help pay for your school. We have curriculum that is very specific to the needs of international students. Many students want to come for STEM programs, and so they can have that 3-year visa, that extension for work. We have some of the best slate of STEM programs in the whole business. Lots of focus on career. And so we look to help students get CPT, OPT opportunities. It was just a couple of days ago, I got word from my vice president. We signed another MOU with a regional powerhouse company that does artificial intelligence services for business. He himself is from India, and he's an Avila graduate of the CEO. But then the big one is really care and culture. You have to care for your students. While everyone's got their own tastes, I have always believed that a small institution where they care about you matters most. Because integrating into the community, having a connection with faculty, staff, and even your president, people that can give you references, people that will be with you later in your career, that really matters. It helps you persist. That's why I still have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students on my Facebook and Instagram that I connect with over years.
And that's the 5th C then, that is your collected president.
I like that. Okay, I want to add that one. Thank you.
All right, so you talked about one of the other C's, which is curriculum. So how do you make your curriculum student friendly? Basically, a student comes to study a program, not for just to study it.
Exactly.
It comes there to get industry focused, to get employable, to get jobs, to plan on a career. So how does Avila help a student in this journey?
So here's one difference about Avila. And there are differences in American institutions. At some institutions, they might have IT faculty, data science faculty who are full-time faculty, and that's all they do. And I remember when I was a student, I was a business major initially before I became a history major. I sat in class and I thought, you know what, you're my business professor, but you've never been in business. And so now that I'm a president, I get to do something about it. And so our focus at Avila is having instructors who are practitioners. And so the people who teach our classes are also people who are working professionals. They run a business during the day. They do software development. They do cybersecurity firms. And then they come teach a class at night or on the weekends. And that means a lot. It means you're getting, first of all, somebody who really knows what they're talking about. They can be on the cutting edge of things. But it also means that that's somebody who you make an impression. They can be a mentor. They'll be a connection to you. And I always thought that, there's an old saying I borrowed from somebody else. It's not your net worth, it's your network. Building a network matters. And at Avila, you're going to build a great network because your professors are also working professionals.
True. Another one of the C's that you talked about was the cost. So, how do you make it viable for a student in terms of financial aids or scholarships or fees and boarding? How do you help the student?
Well, we've driven prices down to among the lowest levels in the entire industry. If you are coming to Avila's graduate student, uh, I want to say it's about $10,000. $10,800 is our tuition loan. We've got $11,000 for 1 year of study in the traditional pathway, but then we still give a scholarship on top of that. And that's less expensive than you'll spend in some Indian institutions. It's certainly less expensive than German and UK institutions. And then in addition to that, we've also worked on housing. We know that one of the keys to students having a good experience is living on campus and housing. With all the stuff that's going on out there now in particular, it's particularly important and safe. We care for our students like parents. And so the average room and board at an American institution is about $15,000 US. At Avila, you can come and stay in one of our residence halls for one semester for less than $2,000 for the room. In some instances, you don't even have to have a meal plan if you want to cook on your own, or you can have a low-cost meal plan. So our room and board costs are less than 50% of what you will spend in another institution. So it makes it affordable. And if you're a graduate student, especially if you stay during the summertime, you can work. You might even be able to earn enough money while you're working to pay for all of your costs of tuition and board.
That's great.
Mhm. It is.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, President, what is the your future plan in terms of reaching out to more global talent, quality students, and what is your plan in terms of supporting uh, student welfare?
Well, we're going to continue to look for to add programs that are of value to them. We have a very aggressive campaign to build MOUs with more companies. And so one of the things that we're trying to lean into this year is having our students who are working, we want to help them get OPT opportunities, but then helping those students. Remember, I've learned over the years, the ultimate goal for many of the students is I want to come get my degree, do my OPT, and then impress some employer so much that maybe they'll sponsor my H-1B. And so we have a special program that we're putting in place that will assist students who have convinced that employer to help with an H-1B, help sponsor the H-1B so they can have that permanent presence in the U.S.
Fabulous.
So we'll continue to look at good programs. We'll continue to work on pricing. We will continue to improve our culture. I'm in here in India right now because we're even looking at ways of partnering with institutions here so that maybe at some point students could even do part of their studies here and keep the cost even lower. Right. We're an institution of access, and we're going to continue to try and find opportunities for students to access U.S.
Thank you so much, Jim. It was wonderful talking to you. And do you students out there, do follow us on our YouTube channel and all our Instagram and other social media posts to remain updated on the international education sector.